Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA,
where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can all start your day off the AFA way because you are AFA. And in case you've forgotten, we've been here for the past almost year reminding you every single day because Mark wrote a book about it.
Yeah.
And it's really, really important, seriously, to wake up every morning and just start your day off with a thought that you may not normally start your day off with. Because I know when I wake up forgetting everything. I forget.
Oh my gosh. Or you wake up and your head's already spinning with all of the things that you need to do during the day, right?
Oh,
You just
yeah.
start like that. Yeah. So if you can sit back into the awareness of you are absolutely amazing exactly as you are, and the pressure's off. And then you get to use this magnificent brain that we have in a much different way.
Yeah.
Good morning,
Oh,
Beth. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. So happy. What is it? It's the 6th of July.
It is the 6th of July. We had a great July 4th weekend. Rainy in the beginning and beautiful yesterday. So here in New England. So it was great.
Yeah, and just a big shout out to Osprey Point Farm for throwing an amazing afternoon of, right on the farm.
Hostess with the mostess.
Yes, it was beautiful. That's nice band, good food, singing, dancing.
Fabulous. So much
fireworks. Yeah, it was great.
Yep. It was a
good
great time. Everybody loved it. It was good to be around people. So here we are, Tuesday, July 6th.
Yeah, hugs and nugs.
Yeah, hugs
Tidbit
and
Tuesday.
We are going there. We're going to the Terpene Tuesday list. We're going to talk about some new things today.
Yes,
which you'll find really super interesting.
Yeah, I
love it. But first,
love.
There's love.
Let's
have a little love. It's a nice short
love.
one today.
Okay, but, shorty but goody.
Great things come in small packages, so here we go. This is from You Are What You Think, from my idol, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Here we go. It's really short and really powerful, so you got to pay attention. You ready? You can't go around being what everyone expects you to be, living your life through other people's rules, and be happy and successful.
Okay, you can't be what everyone thinks you should be and expect to be happy and successful. There you go.
Can't live up to other people's expectations. Here's the thing, Sherry. Number one, you don't really know what they are. You have no idea what other people's expectations are. You make most of them up in your head and then apply them to the poor person on the other end. You're like, oh, they expect me to be this, that, or the other thing.
Right.
So that's the first problem. The second thing is if the other person has expectations for you, almost all of the time, it's not even about you. It's made up from a whole bunch of other information, and they apply it to you. So it's kind of unfair to have expectations either on yourself or somebody else.
But here's the thing, though, too. This is stimulate something in my mind just a little bit, just to discuss.
Yes.
This is where communication is essential. So here's the thing. So having expectations, I get that. But then there's another part of me that's like, in certain things, you expect something to happen, like you purchase something and you expect that you're going to get that purchase, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost as if you need to have expectations, there needs to be boundaries around it, right? So people know, right? So you have, okay, when you do this, this is going to happen. When you do this, this is going to happen. So if people don't know, then their expectations, if you don't lay out what they can expect in any given situation, especially when you're buying products and services, right? Like for example, when you're ordering Nurse Mark product, right? If you didn't have on your website that it's going to be there in 5 to 7 days, I know me, I would expect it there in 2.
Well, yeah,
because that's the story. Oh, they should be able to get it.
Guess what, Sherry? For the most part, it's going to be there in 2.
I know.
But you know what I'm saying? Because if I tell you it's going to be there in 2, and the U.S. Postal Service, who I can't have any expectations of, doesn't deliver on time, I've
But
not
but
met
but
your expectations. So
but that's the part that's so good is
yeah,
you're setting, I look at the
yep,
boundaries and having the expectations laid out is setting everyone up for success.
yeah. But I think what he's saying here is if you try to live up to everybody else's expectations, you're gonna
Yes.
spend all your time trying to meet everybody else's expectations and never get to living your life. Like
Here it
you're living
is.
somebody else's life.
Yeah. Oh, I can identify with that honestly too, just
Mhm.
really quickly. When I remember when I was a kid, I was 10 years old and my little brother went running down the driveway and took a header. He was literally 1 and split his head open and blood's
Uh-huh.
gushing anywhere. And I was 10 and I grabbed him and carried him up. And it was my first nursing experience, literally taking care of my little
Mhm.
brother. And I remember saying, I'm going to be a nurse. I'm like so excited. I know I want to be a nurse. And I remember, no offense to him, my father saying, you should be a doctor. So his expectation is because I wanted to take care of someone
Yeah,
that a doctor was better than a nurse. So it was just, and that all has to do with
right.
perception
Yeah,
and everything along those lines. So it was
right.
really, really an interesting thing to just come up. So yes, so expectations, but became a nurse and it was the best thing
Yes.
I ever did. Best thing I ever did.
Yeah, because you wanted to.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now
Exactly.
we live, certainly all of us, you who are listening and Sherry and I, we live in a world of expectations, right? We're working with cannabis.
Oh
It's
yeah.
federally illegal. There are some people who
Hmm.
have expectations that we just don't talk about these things and
Right.
that we, just keep it to ourselves, right? There's expectations around how we need to act in regard to cannabis as a medicine. And
Right.
unfortunately for them, we don't live up to their expectations in any way,
Right.
shape, or form.
Yeah.
And
I
and
know.
honestly, Sherry, I don't care. I've
Well, the
gotten
thing
real
is
good about not caring about other people's expectations. Not saying that I'm unkind or
caring.
that
You're right.
I'm right. I'm still caring
Mm,
and compassionate and understanding, but I
yeah.
but I don't accept their limitations on who I am as a human being. And I think
Right.
that's what Wayne is trying to get at. It's a
Yeah. Yeah.
limitation. It's a squashing of who you are if you take on other people's expectations.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Here it is doing the best you can with what you have right here,
Yeah.
right now.
You
Right.
know
And
where
here it
that
is. That's
really
it. As
shows
long
up?
as I'm doing
Yeah.
my best and showing
Yeah.
up, then I'm
Yep.
sorry if I'm not meeting your expectations. I'm
Right.
meeting my own.
Well, you know where it really comes up is when you're in romantic relationship with someone. Oh my God, you
Okay.
start out with, let's not have any expectations on each other. We love each other. Just allow ourselves to be ourselves. And then we turn into those human beings that have experiences from the past and they get laid in there. And then you have
Right.
expectations on your partner.
Right. Oh
That's when
yeah.
it can go sideways, right? So,
Well, yeah,
yeah, so
exactly.
it's
Well,
easy to fall into being human and having expectations and
yeah.
thinking you need to live up to your partner's expectations, but
Yeah.
letting
It's a
go
good
of
one.
all of those and just allowing each other to be who we really are, which is absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
Exactly. Well, that's the part that's so cool is,
Yes,
having the ability, you have the
totally.
awareness, you have the consciousness, and you have the emotional intelligence to communicate. So
Yeah.
that's what, that's where we get stuck is not being able to process the emotions around
Well,
those
yeah,
uncomfortable feelings that come up.
because 'cause we're fearful, right?
Mhm. Yeah, very
Yeah.
fearful.
Communication requires courage.
Hmm. It's
To
being
step
real and
outside of
raw.
being, holding back and being fearful and coming from that place of fear and not really saying what you want to say.
I'm going to give you a really cool example. So I met
Awesome.
someone at the party yesterday, and we were doing we were discussing energy healing,
Yeah.
and he was new to it, and he had never experienced it before. So I sat him down in a seat, and I
I
explained what I
watched
was
you.
doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
did you? You saw me
Oh,
do
yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah.
He sunk down deep, like I saw him, and I could see him like a little woozy. And then he opened, it was like about 2.5, 3 minutes. He opened his eyes and he stood up and he was like, I was afraid I was going somewhere. So he allowed himself to be
Yeah.
vulnerable,
Uh-huh.
which was really, really powerful. I was afraid
Yeah.
I was going somewhere, and I was like,
Mhm.
you were going in to, to get to know, right? But the part that I
Yeah.
loved that was so beautiful is he didn't make it weird. He didn't feel like he was honest and open and vulnerable about
Yep.
how it made him feel.
Mhm.
in that moment in time. So that's really powerful. That's good
That
stuff.
is.
You
That
know?
is.
Yeah. And the
Well, that's
expectation is
yeah.
yeah. So expectations, here's the expectation for today. No
Yeah.
expectations, but we got to get into our show.
Let's get into it.
Let's
All
get
right.
into it because this is a
Guys,
really
good
cool.
morning, guys, girls. So
Yeah.
happy to see you all here. Welcome to
Good morning. Good
Tuesday,
morning.
July 6th, 2021.
July
Sherry,
6th,
what are we
2021
talking
banners.
about today?
Well, we are talking about, I am going to just fly through these really quickly. So it's an interesting thing. I love looking at cannabis plants. And basically I saw, I've been seeing a lot of purple and blue hues and tones when I'm looking at plants. And I'm like, and there was an article that said what makes a plant purple or what makes it blue or what gives it those pinky tones. So I said, you know what, that might be a really good idea of something to talk about because we know the cannabis plant has over 400 compounds, over 140 cannabinoids, multiple terpenes, essential fatty acids, bioflavonoids, and cannaflavins that act as antioxidants. So we're going to be talking about flavonoids. And so, but what makes a cannabis flower purple? Pretty much.
Well, there you
go.
So
have you ever heard of, there's a, I don't know if people have heard of these, there's antioxidants on the market, OPCs, oligomeric proanthocyanidins. Mm-hmm. And then there's oxygen radical absorption capacity. So there's these different, and they're all berries, these purple berries. And so anthocyanins are water-soluble pigments that are present in many, many plants. So they refer to the blue nature. These molecules occur in a range of colors from red to purple to dark blue or black, depending upon the pH level. So this is science, which is cool. Molecular stuff. So the anthocyanins are a part of a larger class of substances known as flavonoids. And so interesting enough, as you think flavonoids, you think flavor. So aside from how the name sounds, they have little to do with flavor, but it comes from the word flavus, which is the word for yellow, which I find is very interesting.
Yeah.
Flavonoids.
So they have health benefits, Sherry, and we're going to
tons of health benefits
today.
Yeah.
Right. So, Sherry, cannabis is made up of a lot of compounds. A lot of them actually haven't really been identified. There are so many that are in the plant. These, however, have been. So we have phytocannabinoids, terpenes, essential fatty acids, flavonoids, and cannaflavins, right?
Yeah.
Flavonoids account for 10% of the known compounds, with around 20 varieties known to exist in cannabis.
Yeah. And the interesting thing too is just like terpenes, the flavonoids, like Mark said, they're not unique to the cannabis plant.
No.
And there have been thousands that have been identified throughout nature, from fruits to flowers to vegetables. And there are some that are only to be known to cannabis, meaning that you wouldn't find these flavonoids in any other plants. And so they call them cannaflavins.
Right.
So cannaflavins are flavonoids specific to cannabis. So they're similar to terpenes, and they share a role in how we perceive cannabis through our senses.
Right. And they really are some of them among the most understudied compounds that are in the cannabis plant. Yeah.
So
what
exist
do we know
through
about
nature.
flavonoids?
Yeah. So this is good. So we do know a lot of stuff. Like we said, the research is evolving, but flavonoids do exist through nature. They're made of groups of polyphenolic compounds that act as secondary metabolites to a lot of different plants and funguses.
God, I love it when you talk science to me, Sherry. Oh my God, especially on a Tuesday morning after a holiday weekend. God, fires me up.
Fires you up. Well, look at this, fires me up. Numbers fire me up. So 6,000 varieties of flavonoids have been discovered. And their functions and how they operate in our bodies span over like a huge spectrum of wellness.
Yeah. Right? And they affect the pigmentation of cannabis, as you can expect, right? Because they have that pigmentation quality, right? So they do that with cannabis, and they do it with other flowers wherever they show up.
Yep. So what else do we know about flavonoids? So they're also they're protective, right?
Yeah.
So they're also partially responsible for protecting plants against the elements. such as UV rays, pests, diseases, other types of
Yeah, so
just the
it's
terpenes
similar
ward
to a
off.
terpene, where
Yeah,
terpenes use the scent and the taste. These are similar, where they're helping to ward off,
yeah,
things in the environment that'll negatively affect the plant as it grows.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it
So
gives
such
cannabis its character.
Yes,
Tell
it's
me
a
about it.
combination. The combination of,
Yeah.
yeah. So if you think about it, we don't see flavonoids on the labels, you
No,
know.
they don't listen.
Um, they don't, but that's okay. It's all right. It's all good. It's just, but it's really cool to know that they're there, and it's really cool to know that you can get, flavonoids in other different
Mhm.
types of foods and fruits and vegetables, and that cannabis flavonoids are called
Yep.
cannaflavins because they're not found anywhere
Right.
else.
And
Yeah.
you know what? Entourage effect. We don't know if
Mhm.
flavonoids play a role in it. We just don't know.
Yeah.
But they could. Terpenes, we know,
Yeah.
do in some way. And I
Yeah.
think personally that flavonoids do as well.
I do too. So, some of the research has shown that flavonoids do have like pharmacological active components,
Yeah.
for example, and then the preliminary research that's out does indicates there are medicinal benefits of the cannaflavins that are found exclusively within
Mhm.
cannabis plant,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So, what do we have here for notes? Here's an example. So, whether
Yeah.
flavonoids enhance the properties of cannabinoids or modulate their efficacy isn't fully known. So, for
Mhm.
example, the flavonoid quercetin is found in a ton of fruits and vegetables, and it's known to
Mhm.
be an antifungal.
Right.
So catechins are flavonoids that are found in cocoa, teas, and other types of fruits, and they're known to be antioxidants with cardiovascular
Yeah.
benefits. And we know
Yeah.
that antioxidants help to protect our cells, right? So what
Oh,
about
they sure
cannaflavins?
do. Say that again?
So then we go down this list here, and it lists cannaflavin A,
Oh.
cannaflavin B. We're going to go through the alphabet at some point in time, I'm sure, in history,
Yeah.
right? It'll be like, oh, we're on
Yeah.
cannaflavin Z today.
So these cannaflavins, unique to cannabis. Yeah. So there's an alpha and A, and that's pharmacologically active. And there's some studies showing that it has anti-inflammatory properties. Go figure. Again,
I know.
cannabis associated with anti-inflammatory properties.
Mm.
Yeah. And of
Yep.
course, we know that chronic inflammation is part of the aging process. So
Hmm.
I know I would love to slow down the aging process, Sherry,
Me too.
So anything that's anti-inflammatory, I think is a fabulous thing.
Yeah.
And then we have canaflavin B and C, and they're also being studied for potential medical benefits.
Right.
What are these other ones, Sherry?
Okay. So these are some,
Highly
I can't
active.
even, I can't pronounce them.
Yeah.
I'll go for it. Orientin,
Yeah.
quercetin,
Yeah.
silymarin,
Love it.
and camphorol.
You are
They are
perfect.
all different types of flavonoids that are found in the cannabis plant, and they all
Yep.
have anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antioxidant, and anti-cancer potential. So we're going to see in the future where studies take us on these, which
Yeah.
is really interesting.
Isn't it amazing that all of these things all have similar properties within the cannabis plant? When we talk about
Yeah.
all these things, we always talk about anti-inflammatory, we talk about antifungal, we talk about the antioxidants and the anti-cancer potential, right? And it really is, we're so early on in the world of figuring out how it all works together.
Yeah.
Of course, because A, we're so complex, and B, cannabis is pretty complex as well,
Ah,
chemically speaking.
I love it. It just
Yeah.
makes it so interesting because
Uh-huh.
the cannabis plant tells a story as we evolve. I love it when people will
Sure
make
does.
blanket statements about something. They'll make a
Yeah.
blanket statement, hard and fast, and I'm like, oh, let's see what cannabis has to say about that.
Yeah, let's
you
see
know,
let's see what the cannabis plant has to say.
it's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
So the bottom line, Mark, for our viewers
Bottom
that are
line,
out
Sherry.
there, bottom line is flavonoids may be synergistic in cannabis with the rest of the plant. As we know, we talk about the entourage effect. It's a widely used term that describes the synergistic nature of the many pharmacological active compounds in cannabis.
Right.
And so the bottom line with the entourage effect states this: the whole of the plant is greater than its individual parts.
Yeah.
Our endocannabinoid system interacts with receptors to produce effects, which is further enhanced by the terpenes, the flavonoids, the cannaflavins, and the essential fatty acids.
All
right?
of it
Really,
working together in concert, all just doing what
working
they
in
do
harmony.
so safely, so effectively. I
So
think that's
everyone
the
get your
number one thing, safely.
safely and effectively. And it is. And
Yeah.
the whole of the plant, it's like this plant is so intelligent for our complex bodies.
Yeah.
I know it sounds, well, we're going to get into woo-woo. I know it sounds woo-woo, but you know what? I'm going to say it anyways. The whole of the plant is greater than its individual parts, number one. And number two, the intelligence of the plant, like I said, it's almost as if the plant knows where it needs to go and does what it needs to do to bring homeostasis or balance to our umbrella, right?
Why wouldn't
Intelligence.
There's research that is coming out that trees talk to each other. That everything is connected underground through the mycelium, right?
Yes, the fungus
coming out all the time. Like, we have so little knowledge about the intelligence of all of the other things that surround us. We're like big dumb dinosaurs just blowing through the world. We have no awareness and concept of the intelligence of everything around us, and cannabis included. So when you say
that's
that,
why
resonates,
Mark, and that's why we like to meditate, and that is why I love to meditate with the cannabis plant. Can I tell you, the information that gets whispered into my ear, I know it's not from me. Right. It's coming from spirit, and the cannabis plant fills my body with hope and inspiration. So I'm open to receive information so I can bring it to you all and share it. Right. That's what we want to do. We're here to share information. Knowledge is power. We're here to educate and empower you all to make choices and decisions that are best for you. Anything that supports and nourishes the endocannabinoid system, we're going to talk about.
Hell yeah. Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
So
we got going on down below. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can do. Okay, here we go. Right down below here. Our community.
You gotta come in.
The Green Nurse Holistic Caring Community. Come join us. This is like I talk about every day about Nurse Mark's book, The AFA Way. I'm going to talk about every day about this community because it is really important. We're coming together as community, unity consciousness, bringing in information, people, providers, patients from all over the globe to come together to learn in an uncensored environment. We can talk about anything. I'm bold and brave, but I feel that the more bolder and braver that I get, the more censorship that's out there. And so we really want to be able to provide you all with information ongoing. And in case anything ever happens, you have a place to go. So it's a free community. So please join. The other thing that Elizabeth Mack, I want to give a big shout out to her. Love her dearly.
Oh, yeah.
She has a free program. So it's listed right below there, a free introductory to cannabis program. And then the third thing that she's offering is 50% off of all of her self-paced programs that are not only for patients, but per provider. So both people can take them. And Carrie Lee and I are going to be digging into that and to bring you guys some hugs and nugs of information from those programs, which is going to be great. Knowledge is power, everyone. And guess what? We're here to provide you with that knowledge so you can have the power.
Put it into action.
Put it into action. Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So what else we got going on?
Sherry, every day at 8 a.m., this is what we do.
This is what we do. Feels good.
What we do. But starting on Friday, you're going to have special guests popping on with you. I'm going to be out of the country.
Nurse Mark, I am like green nurse on the go. Nurse Mark and Nurse Jamie are going to go explore France, which I think is going to Paris.
And
which I think is going to be amazing.
Yeah, we're going to figure out what's going on in France because
what's going on in France.
We're a global community. We're a global organization. So we need to know what's going on in all of the different parts of the world. because
World,
we're helping
exactly.
people everywhere, aren't we, Sherry? We do consultations around the world, and
Oh
it's
my
only
God.
going to expand
It is
because
only going to expand. Yeah. We
because
got people from
people
all over the
need to
world
have
that are
this
watching.
information.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And these
yeah,
other countries that too, some countries are more advanced than others, and some of them are people that are really underground. And,
yeah.
just being able to provide them with the information and the resources that they can need so they can source out what's appropriate for them with where they're
That's
living, and to keep it legal. It's all about
yeah,
safe consumption,
yeah. It is. It
and
is.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so yes, so Nurse Mark is leaving the country, and I'm going to be having on Green Nurse Carrie Lee,
Yep.
Green Nurse Michelle Morris, Green
Love
Nurse
it.
Denise Costello, and
Yes.
Green Nurse Kathleen Graham from
Woohoo.
Michigan. So we're going
Yeah.
to have a real, and what's going to be nice too, Mark, is I'm going to let them shine.
Oh,
Right. I
wow.
want them to, so they're going to all
Yeah.
bring their little specialty and their educational plug for what they feel passionate about. And we're going to
Right.
share that. So that's going to be really fun.
Oh,
So we're
my
going to
God.
have lots of
So
new
good.
hugs and nugs. And guess
Yeah.
what? It's kind of like a vacation for me because they're creating the content,
Yeah.
which is so
Right.
cool. I
Lay
can't wait
back
to
and
share.
relax. Have a great show every morning.
Yeah. Get to
Somebody new to chat with.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So
I'm
good.
going to tell you, Nurse Mark, I'm going to miss
Yeah.
you. You know that.
I'm gonna miss you too. I'm gonna miss all you guys.
Which you
You know
also
what?
know too.
I'll try to push on. You
You
know,
just try to just go live from the
I'll
streets.
try. I'll try that. I should be able to do it. But I
Yeah.
am gonna miss you all, and it'll be so much fun. So
Yeah.
we have that
Well,
going on. Of course, we have a Wednesday night podcast at 8 p.m. Who's our guest
you
this week?
ready?
Yeah.
We have a good one. Dr. Kevin Spellman of the Spellman Report.
Yes.
He's been part of the National Institute of Health. He's written multiple books, multiple papers, all about cannabis as medicine. He's identified receptor signaling systems.
Yep.
So he's going to be a powerhouse. Really cool
Can't
guy.
wait. We may talk a little sciencey stuff. This is exciting, Sherry.
It's really good. And
It's going to be good.
It's going to be a really good one. So you guys have to join in on Wednesday night. Yep. And then Thursday, I'm just going to plug us, Mark. We have our big first teaching gig at a massage school. And guess what? That presentation is.
Oh, my God. Any of these presentations you put together are just stellar.
Well, here, the part that's
amazing.
So cool. We are gonna teach these massage therapists at this massage school about how they can incorporate cannabis education into what they're doing. So we're teaching a college course, really excited about. And then finally, we have frequency.
Who better? I mean, that's great. I mean, massage therapists, they're stimulating your endocannabinoid system. That's what they're working with. They're moving that lymph. They're moving that fluid. They're getting that whole system moving and flowing. Who better to integrate cannabis into their practice? I think it's absolutely perfect.
It's phenomenal. We did a show on that last week, Mark. So we were able to actually, we could compare, we were able to compare cannabinoids to massage therapy and what they present, what the similarities that they had in working with the human body.
We need to bring somebody who does acupuncture on, because that's another modality that is stimulating the endocannabinoid system. And I find it fascinating.
I have
somebody on. Do you have someone?
Yep. He's got a really great story. He's here in Belmont, Massachusetts. His name is Peter Faust. Him and his wife.
We got to have Peter on the show.
Really, he's got a great story too as to what brought him to acupuncture, because he used to be a chef. He's got really.
It's like we say all the time. People don't just wake up one day and say, "Hey, I'm going to get into cannabis."
Or I'm going to be an acupuncturist.
It's like, you
go from cutting meat to sticking needles in people.
Yeah. So you know what? We do talk about being global, Sherry. We got somebody from Belfast, Ireland listening in. Hello there across the pond.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Here.
Yeah.
We really are a global organization. We're looking to just continue the conversation in all areas of our world, wherever we can, without being stringently, right? Yeah.
I love the way you giggle.
We can't be censored. So that's why you join the Holistic Caring, network community, because we're uncensored there. We're unfiltered.
Yeah. And we can create content too, specific to what you need. So you could just say, hey, Green Nurse Sherry, Nurse Mark, you know, this is what we're looking for you to create. This is what we were looking for you to show us. This is what
Yeah.
we need. And we can
Yeah.
create it. And it won't be censored. You know, there's a lot
Right.
of
So
really cool
we
stuff
got
that we do in
lots to
patients' homes.
share.
Yeah, lots to
Yeah.
share, which is so cool.
So
So
join
yeah,
us there, folks. Yeah. So, and then
join us.
of course, we'll whip on into Friday where you'll be doing that Frequency Friday, and you'll be introducing the Healy to everyone, and Reiki and reconnective energy healing and all of those modalities.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. We
Good
all
stuff.
want you to
Good stuff.
live your best life. That's
Well,
really
that's
right.
what I was going to
The
ask
end.
you, Sherry. That's what
I
we're going
know.
to do today. Listen, folks, I say it every day. It really is straight up the truth. Today is the only day that you have. There is no guarantee you're getting till tomorrow. Hell, you might not even make it to the end of this day. So why not do exactly what you do without having to live up to everybody else's expectations? Step out of that and live this day, Tuesday, July 6th, 2021, exactly the way you want to do it.
Right. Right. Yeah.
AFA Day, babe. And
AFA
it
Day.
is about, you mentioned it. What is it all about?
It's about living your best life, helping others do the same. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. Have a fantastic day.
Thanks,
We love you.
everybody.